Hello again and welcome to Senior TAC, aka Jeff Mitchell on the Strategic Response Tactical LLC website. This is video content. Today's video will be on disassembly and reassembly of the bolt carrier group for cleaning. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'm going to do a very detailed instructional video, educational video on the bolt carrier group, the bolt, the carrier itself, the gas key, the screws, the finish, everything else that's in the TDPs, which I have right here that I printed off. And but that's coming in the future. It'll probably be like a 3 or 4 section video, and that'll be paid per view content. You can buy the series of the video or rent them as many times as you want. That's totally up to you. So what we have here is a brand new bolt carrier group. I've had it apart a couple times, just checking some things on it, and I wanted to completely clean it off so you could see it and it wasn't be oily and look better on the camera. This is a Palmetto State bolt carrier group. It's an example of one. They have many that come out. Specifications, tolerances change from time to time, but for the most part they're pretty straight on. And Palmetto State does not make their bolt carrier groups. I'm not sure, but I think Toolcraft manufactures them for them, and they have their name put on them. So anyway, this is a manganese phosphate coated chrome lined bolt carrier and gas key. So this is exactly what would be in, or exact specifications of what would be in a military designated M16, M4, M4A1, anything like that. So anyway, and they all come apart the same way and they all go back together the same way. So let's get to it. Easiest way to do it, you need a round that's not fired, or a dummy round, or an expensive armor's tool such as this. And if you're going to do anything that you're going to have to push on anything like that, you want to use a brass punch. I use brass on everything. I don't use steel because it'll mark things, and I don't necessarily like to mark everything up. So anyway, using the tool that you'll have with you out in the field in case you need to pull it apart, take the round, and you can either, on the left side of the carrier as you're holding it with the bolt out, you can pull that out, or the simpler way would be come on the back side opposite of where the firing pin retaining pin loop is at. Right here, if you'll notice, you'll see this sticking through just a little bit. Take your round, push on it, and it pushes the firing pin retaining pin out. Just pull it out the rest of the way. Be careful not to drop it in the dirt, because if you drop it in the dirt, you can't find it. Your weapon's functionality will go out the window, and you won't be able to fire your weapon, making it basically useless. So at this point, there's nothing to hold the firing pin in. It'll drop right out, specifically if it's perfectly clean like that. Now we have the bolt to carrier and the cam pin. So the cam pin, as you can see right here, moves back and forth when you move the bolt. That's what holds the bolt in place and helps it to lock and unlock in the firearm itself. So what you want to do is you want to turn the bolt carrier group with the top of the cam pin facing upwards. Turn it 90 degrees like I just did. And if it's perfectly clean, it'll drop out. As you can see right there, you got to pull it out the rest of the way. But it's barely hanging in there. If it's filthy dirty, you may need to use your tool of some form, fashion, or to pull it out and get all the crud and crap off of it to clean it up. Brand new cam pin, no wear tear on it whatsoever. At this point, the carrier and the bolt can be separated. You separate the bolt from the carrier by pulling out on it. Lay your carrier down. Clean it up, make sure the screws haven't backed out, the staking's still good, it's not showing any excessive blow-by gases or anything like that. If your carrier is really dirty, you'll understand what I'm talking about. You'll have a lot of gas buildup in here, or carbon buildup and stuff in there. On the bolt itself, you can pull this down even farther, but you want to inspect the rings, make sure the rings are good. It's a good idea to offset the spacing on the rings themselves. It's not necessarily required because the bolt carrier group is going to work fine, the weapon's going to function fine, as long as you have at least one gas ring in. There's been video footage of the guy from not School of American Rifle, that's Chad, but guys at Sons of Liberty Gun Works, he actually takes a bolt, pulls off 2 of the rings, and leaves 1 of the rings on the weapon, and puts it back together with the bolt carrier group with the 1 ring on it, and it functioned perfectly. Now, how long it would function perfectly like that, I don't know. I've never done that. I've always used 3 gas rings on all the serviceable weapons that I had access to and that I used. So once it's offset a little bit, Now you can take this apart and down a little bit further. There's a pin right here that holds the extractor, not the ejector. This is the ejector over here. This is the extractor on this side. To get this pin out, you have to push down on this because there's a spring that's under spring tension. Push down on that. Use the end of the round to push that pin out. Pull it out the rest of the way. Once you have it out, you can now remove the extractor. Clean the extractor, clean the bolt up real good. This has both the O-ring and the butyl insert down inside it, and I'm not sure if that's because it's a weaker spring or not. It's pretty good tension, and you can check your tension on your ejector as well, and this one's pretty tight, taking quite a bit of pressure to push that bad boy down. To put it back together, take your bolt, take your extractor, set the extractor down inside, try to line up those holes as best you can, and once you line them up, you should be able to see down through there. And once it's completely concentric all the way through, you can see all the way through, the pin will drop right in. And sometimes it's going to be a pain in the ass to do, which this one's going to be a pain in the ass. I can tell right off the bat because it's brand new, it's tight. Very, very, very little wear to no wear. And let's try it from the other side. Not that it makes any difference, the hole's concentric all the way through. And maybe I can get it in the first shot. There we go. You want to push it into where the pin is barely protruding through both sides, not sticking out any farther than that. You don't want it to be hanging up on anything. So we have the bolt back together. The rings are still good. Take your carrier in one hand, take your bolt in the other. Place your bolt down inside your carrier to check your gas rings. Once it's installed, stand it up on it. If it drops down on it, you know you have bad gas rings, or you can hold it by the bolt itself and shake it, and if it shakes off, you need to replace your gas rings. If not, you have good gas rings for the time being. Make sure your extractor's on the right-hand side of the bolt, because if it's like this, extractor's on the other side, the cam pin will not go in because this hole in the bolt is not as large as the other side that it's supposed to go down inside. So rotate your bolt 180 degrees, get your extractor on the right-hand side, take your cam pin, drop it down inside, pull the bolt forward, turn the cam pin 90 degrees, turn your bolt carrier group around, drop your firing pin down inside. Once it drops down in, take your firing pin retaining pin, insert it, and as you're inserting it, in some cases it may be tight to get, it won't go in. Push down on it just a little bit as you're pushing in, and it'll go right in place. So once you have the firing pin, retaining pin back in place, give it a once over, make sure everything looks good. Run it back and forth a little bit, stick it in your weapon, put your weapon back together, function check it, call it good, fire it. If you have no issues, you're good to go. If you have issues, you need to further inspect and see what else is wrong, possibly causing malfunctions. All right, so that's a disassembly, reassembling of a bolt carrier group. Thank you very much for tuning in. I wanted to keep it under 10 minutes, and hey, you know what? 2 thumbs up. I did it under 10 minutes. So if you have any questions or any comments or anything like that, feel free to ask about it. Like I said, I'm going to do a very in-depth video series on the bolt carrier group, the specifications required by the TDP for Colt when they were manufacturing them, for FN when they got the rights to build the weapons and everything else. So anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you in some other videos. Look forward to your comments and questions, and we'll see you soon. Senior TAC, Jeffrey Mitchell, out.